Hi, everyone. Welcome to Behind the Scenes and happy Monday. Happy almost Valentine's Day. And that's what we are going to talk about, just in general, our ideas about Valentine's and also what our teens and tweens are up to. I just shared with the group that I'm not the biggest fan in general of Valentine's Day, but then I had kids and I got into the whole other part of Valentine's Day, which is, the whole giving everybody that you barely know in school a Valentine and dress up and do that and this. And even though this was really overwhelming to me in the beginning, I did get into this, as you can see now. I'm wearing my daughter's headband. And yeah, it kind of with time, it actually became fun for me. And so while my kids are beyond the age, they don't give out Valentines anymore or, but they ask for tomorrow that we would make heart-shaped pizzas. Oh. So that was their, wish. And so I think a lot of things will probably be heart-shaped tomorrow at our breakfast and dinner table.
What age did they stop doing the everybody gets a Valentine?
I think that like maybe in middle school or something, because I think in grade school or elementary school, I think the note said, bring a Valentine that you signed but doesn't have a specific name on it, because everybody made those little boxes. Do you guys remember?
I remember those boxes.
The boxes, the Valentine boxes. And then you had to bring them unsigned or without name so that everybody got one. Right. But I think that's done by what? Well, in our school district, it was when they went to middle school, so 5th grade.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Well, because and Francisca, I'm with you. I'm not a big fan of Valentine's. I think for kids, especially the middle school teen kids, it's pressure. I think it's pressure. If you have a Valentine or you're dating someone, there's pressure. I remember one time having to drive my kid to the drugstore to get a teddy bear, that says, one of those drugstore teddy bear with candy, because he had to get something. And it was the next day. I'm like, oh, you're kidding me. But as they got older, one thing we found, and this is not a sponsored ad at all, but those Brock's jelly hearts, they're the gummies, which I love. And I think they're Brock's. I don't know. They're red. They're jelly. Oh my gosh. That became our Valentine go-to for everyone in this house. We would get excited for the candy, basically, is what we ended up getting excited for. As middle schoolers and teens, my kids love the candy. So there was no, that's basically how we celebrated. It was just kind of a fun, easy family thing. Not a lot about girlfriends or boyfriends. I think it's too much pressure. So
I have a Valentine's Day story to share. Years ago, well, when our daughter was in high school, normally Valentine's Day is also around, is it President's Day today or something, or Lincoln's birthday or something, right? Yes. So they got a 4-day weekend for it. So we went on like a 5-day getaway or 4-day getaway to Disney. And so I had packed all this stuff, like cards and candy and everything for my daughter and for my husband. So on the night before, everyone went to bed. I got up and we were staying in this cute little condo. I had little bags for them, and each of them had like gifts and chocolate. And they get up in the morning and they see these bags that I had, taken with me. And they both realized they have nothing for me, like nothing. And I'm like, it's all good. It's all good. This is what I do and everything. So we go to Disney, and the two of them must have talked. And every time we stopped somewhere and I would look at something, my daughter would be like, Mom, you should get that. Mom, you should just get that. And I'll get it for you for Valentine's Day. And I would stop. My husband would be like, would you like that? Oh, we should get that. I came home with more Mickey Mouse swag from the Guild because nobody had gotten me anything. So that was my special Valentine's Day treat.
Jessica, I love that you put up the Brock's.
Yeah, because I was trying to figure out, how it was spelled, and I'm like, I wonder if anyone else might as well just put them up.
Yeah, could be.
Oh, you found it.
You're
nice.
You're a trooper.
Do you still buy it? Are you buying some for yourself tomorrow, Mindy?
This year for some reason I haven't. I kind of forgot. It's been busy for us in this house these days. So, and kid wise and what stuff's going on. So, to be honest with you, I've forgotten tomorrow's even Valentine's Day, which is, I suppose I should wish somebody one, but I don't know. How about you guys? Anybody have any big plans for kids or husbands or significant others?
I sent cards.
I didn't do that.
And then I actually booked a sunset cruise for tomorrow for my husband.
Oh,
but it's not romantic. It's because we live by the hurricane area and I want to go see the hurricane destruction. Wah, wah.
wow.
I will say my favorite way to celebrate Valentine's Day is to go to the store the day after and find all of the, heart-shaped stuff that's on sale.
Maybe if there's any of the Brocks left tomorrow, I'll get them. Great idea. Because now I'm having a craving, but you're right, Jessica. I'm going to wait till they're on sale. Thank you.
Well, you know what's so crazy is I went yesterday to the grocery store and between the Super Bowl balloons everywhere, the entire grocery store, they had filled up all their balloons, like the big foil things, and they were everywhere. So if you were thinking about buying a balloon for your Valentine, all you had to do was grab one and then go to the checkout. So they were really pushing the balloons.
Yeah, apparently my roommate used to work at a grocery store, and apparently Super Bowl Sunday is the one day of the year they make the most money because it's the day that the guys are the ones planning the celebration, and they always forget to buy things until the last day.
You know what? I think I was the only woman in there. It's because I needed batteries. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been in there. And everybody was holding bags of chips and beer. And then there were all the Valentine's balloons everywhere. So
because they're buying a ton of food too, guys. Yes. I can't. Yeah, we did. Yeah, I mean, my husband's guilty of that. We had more wings for this party we were at than, I can't because he was in charge of the wings. We're gonna have wings for months, but
hey, I think they freeze well.
I hope. Oh, I hope.
The only cards in our family are actually my mother-in-law always sends all her grandchildren a card with $10 in it for Valentine's.
Oh, see, that's kind.
Which is great, and so that's why my daughters always send her a card. So that's the only card we send. Okay.
I sent cards this year. I hope they're not watching, but I sent them some Valentine's Day cards this year just because. I don't know. I just saw them at the store and I was like, because I always remember like 2 days before, it's not, if you have to send it, it's not going to get there. So this time I remembered, but no. And with me, it was sometimes, I think in school they had Valentine's Day parties and it's the same thing. Is that what they did, Jess? Is that what you guys did? I'm trying to remember.
I'm trying to think. I mean, are we talking middle school? Are we talking high school?
Like in middle school.
Yeah, in middle school, I think we still had little parties. By high school, the only thing they had was the carnation sales.
Oh, right. The popularity contest.
I thought, Jessica, that was, to me too, like Flower says, what if you don't get one? What if you're the kid that doesn't get one? But that develops grit and resilience. So there you go.
Yeah, and I will say, the 1 year, I think it was senior year, I bought flowers for all of my closest friends, and I got at least one teary-eyed hug. So I think at the very least, it's a good way to show your friends you care, but it's also not necessarily the most fun when every other year is just like, all right, there are the flowers.
Yeah, I just thought that it was. It's the same way I feel about like the holiday parties and the Halloween parties. It's just like, why does it always have to be about food and candy? Like I didn't want that junk in my house. I know I'm like the ogre, the candy ogre, but it wasn't in my house. And then all of a sudden they're like, look, and they bring home like a bag full of crap. So that was always my thing. It's like, seriously, like, I don't know. That's always been my thing. I always was the PTA mother who was like, do we need to have gift bags along with parties? And everyone looked at me like I was the mean mother, but I didn't care. So, but it's become about, I guess,
anytime there's,
so I'm not a big candy person.
Yeah.
I love it, but I don't think
so. I will take any holiday with candy.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. All right. So nobody loves it, huh? Well, Francisca's learning to love it with her pink ears.
Yeah, but now that time is kind of tapering out, I feel like. So I just got to the point where I like it, and now they are no longer really doing much besides dressing up for dance. But
Yeah. Well, you said you didn't used to do like anything for Valentine's Day where you grew up. You said, right?
right. Yep, that was not a thing. I mean,
Called a late bloomer, Francisca. Called a late bloomer. You're a and there's nothing wrong with that.
No, I do remember one time. It was the only time in my life that I picked up a hitchhiker with my sister. And that was on Valentine's Day. And this guy was standing there in the rain with this big bouquet of flowers.
Oh.
And we were like, okay. And it was probably really a dumb move, but he was okay.
I was going to say, was he a good guy? What did he
He
turn
was
out?
a good guy, and we dropped him off at his girlfriend's doorstep. So it was all good.
See.
Oh, so the flowers weren't for you guys. Those flowers were for his girlfriend.
Right.
Oh, see, now that's a great story, but don't do this at home, children, kids,
Not
drivers.
a bad idea, but it turned out okay.
Was that here in the United States?
No, it was in Germany.
Oh, I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even totally different subject, but I don't even think I ever see a hitchhiker anymore. People don't hitchhike anymore, do
No,
they?
I don't think that's a thing anymore.
Yeah. I did in college, but okay. Well, that's another
I did in Europe, but yeah, that was a million years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
We digress.
We do. All right. Well, happy Valentine's Day to everyone. If you celebrate it or not, we hope you have a great week, a lovely week. So
yes.
And we will see you next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye.